Hi everyone, it's Chris, and today I'm taking a look at my brand new backpack, the Zpacks Arc Haul. Okay, so I've been thinking for a while about getting another backpack, and the one that I've been using for the last couple of years, which is the Low Alpine Cerro Torre, is a great pack, and I've loved using that on all my hikes over the last couple of years. The only downside of that pack is that it is very heavy. So that one weighs about 2.7 kilos or nearly 2.8, and I really wanted to go for another pack that I could use that was going to be a lot lighter. I've started to do some longer hikes over the last year or so, and I really wanted something that I could use that was going to be lighter to carry and just more comfortable for those bigger distances that I wanted to start doing. So that was the reason that I started to have a look at ultralight packs, and after doing quite a bit of research on a few different ones, I landed on the Zpacks Arc Haul as the one that had pretty much everything that I was looking for in a ultralight pack. So what I'm going to do in this video is just basically take you through the features of the backpack and essentially just then go over why I decided to select this one and the reasons that for me it made sense to get this one as my backpack for long distance hikes, as well as trying out on some shorter hikes as well. So let's take a look at all the features of the Zpacks Arc Haul. So I'll first talk about the capacity of the backpack. This is a 62 litre pack. So that's made up of a single main compartment of 49 litres. It's then got a big mesh front pocket here, which is 8 litres. And then on each of the two sides, it's got these stretchy pockets as well. And each of those is 2.5 litres. So a total of 62 litres. That was about the size that I was pretty comfortable with. I still wanted to have something that was going to have a decent carrying capacity for some of those hikes where I've got to do maybe 6 or 7 day food carries. The reason the pack is called the Arc Haul is basically because of the frame system that it has. So it's actually got this arced frame here. Now that's actually adjustable, so you can actually make that arc less or more depending on how you sort of wanted to carry it. I've found that it's actually really comfortable. I've just done my first initial hike with this, and really nice to have that airflow in there. So it's got this little sort of trampoline mesh on your back there, and then as you can see, it's got that nice bit of space in between, so you can really get a lot of airflow on your back. So as I said, the carbon fibre stays on each side, and they are adjustable so that you can essentially arc that as much as you wanted to. I've found that it's a bit easier to actually arc it before you start packing it, so I normally do that first before I start to put gear in there. The frame on the Arc Haul actually comes in 3 different lengths, so you can get it in short, medium and long. Now I'm actually glad that I did a bit of research before I decided to work out which length I needed, because by the measurements on Zpacks' website, my torso length was actually showing as long. But I saw a few videos and some other reviews of this that said it's better to go down a size. So I ended up going for the medium torso length, and as it's turned out, that's actually perfect. So I think the other one would have been too long for me. So that's a tip if you are looking to buy this pack. Whatever your measurements are for torso length, go down a size, because that's probably going to be the right one for you. The main fabric on the Arc Haul is a grid stop fabric. And really what I wanted to do was go for something that was still going to be pretty durable. There's a few other packs in the Zpacks range which are made from Dyneema, and obviously really good for being waterproof. But I really wanted something that I knew was going to stand up to a bit more of a beating, probably for some of those hikes where maybe I have to do pack hauls and that sort of stuff over rocks. And some of the terrain that I go through typically on a lot of my hikes, I just wanted to make sure that this was going to stand up to that. And that was one of the things that I liked about the fact that these stretchy side pockets were also made from the grid stop as well. The weight of the Arc Haul is 624 grams, so a really nice light pack. And one of the things that I really like about Zpacks backpacks is that they're modular. And what I mean by that is that you can actually add different components onto it depending on whether you want it to have some more carrying capacity and just quite a few different features that you can actually change to the main base inclusions that you get with the pack. Now I've actually done that, and I'll show you a few of the add-ons that I've put on this pack as well. So I'll probably just stand up and take you through a few of the other features of the pack. The main compartment of the Arc Haul is just a single top entry compartment of 49 litres with this fairly big neck on it, so you've got a fair bit of capacity up there if you wanted to actually really load this up. The actual size inside, if you can sort of see in there, it's pretty significant in terms of storage space, and I've found that for the gear that I've taken on this hike, it's fitted everything really easily, along with putting a few things on the outside pockets as well. So the pack has a roll top closure, so basically that's just got Velcro across the top, and it's really nice and simple. You just basically put the Velcro together, roll that down, and the way that the pack usually closes at the top is it's just got a clip which closes there. What I've done with the Arc Haul is I've added another little feature to it, which is these side straps, and what that means is that I can actually strap it down at the sides rather than at the top. And the reason I decided to go for that is that I just find that it actually gives you a really nice way to compress the top once you've actually got everything in your pack. It's a really nice way just to get some nice tension down on the top. So that's one of the little features that I added. And the other thing that I've done at the top of the pack is, usually what it's got is just a single strap that comes over the top. What I've got instead is I've replaced that and instead got this V strap, and it straps down the same as the single strap would, but basically it just means that you've got this V on the top, and that means it's a bit easier if you wanted to carry something underneath the top here. The obvious one for me would probably be a wet tent. If I didn't actually want to put the wet tent inside my pack, I would probably just put it over the top here and strap it into the top, and then when I'm stopping for a rest somewhere, if I've got a bit of sunshine and it's a nice dry day, take the tent straight off and just open it up to dry it out. So I really like the way that that closes at the top as well. For the hip belt on the Arc Haul, there's actually a few different sizes that you can get for that as well. There's actually a recommended way to measure that Zpacks have on their website as well, and I decided to go for the large one based on my measurements. I think I'm probably just on the verge of a medium and a large hip belt, because this one does actually come in quite close once I've actually tensioned it all up. There is actually an option to add another lumbar support down here. I didn't go for that. I just wanted to see how it would ride without it, and this first initial hike that I've done with it, I was carrying around about a total of 12.5 kilos altogether, and it felt really comfortable, so I can't really see that I'd probably need that extra lumbar support, but it is an option if you wanted to have that extra padding across there. The hip belt doesn't actually come with any storage on it, but what I've done is I've bought these two belt pouches, and I've got one on each side. These ones are actually Dyneema, and I just bought those as a pair, and they just fit in really nicely on the hip belt, and that's the great thing about them. You can remove them if you don't want them on there, if you're maybe doing a hike where you just don't need as much capacity to carry stuff. But these things are huge. I've never actually seen belt pouches that have so much capacity in them. So really nice size. I can fit a ton of stuff in these, and obviously they're completely waterproof as well, with a waterproof zip on them. So really liking those just for the extra storage that they give me on my hip, and things that I can just access easily as I'm hiking along. And the other feature that I've actually added on here, which is also something that's an option, doesn't come standard, is this shoulder pouch. So what I wanted to have that for was basically to carry my GoPro, and that's what I was carrying in there on this little hike. And in this little front mesh pocket, I just sort of tried that out with carrying my personal locator beacon in there, and that just fitted pretty nicely in there. That was just a bit of a test of seeing how that works. So another feature that I added on, again, that is detachable, so you can take that off if you didn't want to use it on any of your hikes. So yeah, just with all those features that I could add onto it, I really like the ability to do that, and I can remove or add them back on as I need to. The stretchy pockets on each side of the pack here are really good for carrying water bottles, and that's what I had on each side of this on this hike. And one of the things I really like about this is that I can actually grab those out of these pockets and also get them back in without actually having to take the pack off. So just means that I can easily access water without having to get my pack off, and yeah, just really convenient for when you're hiking along. The other thing it's got on each side is this lashing cord, and this is going to be really useful. I can see that I'll probably use this just for holding my trekking poles when I'm not using them, and also maybe if I've got another tent with tent poles, I'll probably put them down in there as well just to hold them secure. So that's across each side of the pack as well. The mesh pocket on the front here is really good. It's just got so much storage capacity in it, and I've been carrying a few things in there on this hike. Things like my camp shoes and just trowel and toilet paper and a couple of other things, and it's just been able to fit those really easily, and just really handy having that on the outside so you can just grab those things really quickly. So really liking that. The final additional feature that I added onto the backpack was these two ice axe loops, so one on each of the bottom corners of the mesh pocket there. I'm not likely to be using an ice axe anytime soon, but I figure it was just good to get them anyway, because down the track, if I'm going to be doing that sort of hiking where I may need to use one, I've already got them on there, so they're great to have, and they basically add no weight at all, so just thought that was a good little feature to get as well. At the top of the pack here, you do have load lifters with the backpack, and I really like having those load lifters on there just to be able to tension all of that in, and it just really helps balance out the weight and take some of the weight off your shoulders. So really like having those in there, and I've found them to be really comfortable and work really well so far. So that's pretty much all the main features of the Zpacks Arc Haul, and with a few additional items that I've added onto it as I showed you. So I'm pretty excited to start using this pack. As I said, I really wanted to go for something that was going to be a lot lighter than the one I had, and the difference between the two is more than 2 kilograms, so it's a massive weight saving. And on the little hike that I've just done in here today, which was about 6.5 k's, it just felt really comfortable. As I said, I was carrying about 12.5 kilos altogether, and it just felt very comfortable with that sort of weight. The maximum weight that they actually recommend carrying up to in this pack is about 18 kilos, so you probably don't want to go anything over that. Then it would start to feel probably a bit uncomfortable, anything in excess of that. Another reason for choosing the Arc Haul as the backpack that I wanted to use was because of the frame system with that Arc system. It's basically the same as what I've got in my day pack, even though that one is not adjustable, whereas the Arc Haul is. I just really like that airflow that you get through your back when you've actually got the pack arced. I also wanted a pack that had pretty good durability, which is the reason I wanted to get the Arc Haul, because of the grid stop fabric of the backpack, just so it's a little bit tougher and can stand up to a bit more of a beating over time. Another reason was also just the simplicity of it. I really just like the fact that it's just got that single main compartment, the mesh pocket at the front, and the two side pockets where I can hold my water, and it's just really simple. The other pack that I've got has a lot of bells and whistles, I guess you could say, but that also means a lot of zips and a whole bunch of stuff that adds a lot of weight to it. So just the simplicity of the Arc Haul is something I really like as well. And the final reason, as I said earlier, for going for the Arc Haul was because of the modular nature of the backpack as well. So the fact that I can add and remove different parts, such as the belt pouches and the shoulder pouch, just means you've got a lot of flexibility in what you take with you, or the amount of weight you want to carry when you go on a particular hike. Alright, that's it. That is a full overview of the Zpacks Arc Haul 62 litre backpack. It's going to be the one that I start to use a lot more on some of the hikes I've got coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes on some longer hikes when I've got bigger food carries to do and a little bit more weight in there. So far I'm really happy with it, and it's definitely going to be the pack that I take out on most of my hikes coming up this year and beyond. So I hope you found this video useful, particularly if you're looking around for a new backpack at the moment in the lightweight or ultralight range and wanting to understand what the options are out there. I would definitely include the Zpacks Arc Haul on your list of options to consider. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you out on the trail next time.